Bitcoin smashes through $123,000, Ethereum finally back above $3,000, and XRP smashing through $3, and hopefully headed towards an all-time high. Meme coins doing insanely well, and it looks like we are finally back. Welcome back to your crypto news report, and we're gonna jump into all things crypto. That happened the last week or so. And if you came here for a specific story, check the timestamps down below. But without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first let's go over the market. So like I said at the beginning of the video, Bitcoin hit $123,000 this morning, currently trading around $121,000. And now we're up 11% on the week, which is absolutely insane. Again, Ethereum back above $3,000, up 20% on the week. And of course, XRP doing very, very well, up 30% on the week. And the rest of the market is doing fantastic. We have BNB up 6%, Solana up 9%. Of course, Big Daddy Dogecoin, right? TRX, Cardano. And it seems like nothing has really changed when it comes to the top 20 cryptos, but it's good to see the market moving all together. Now, HBAR has had a fantastic week, up 52%. And it seems like the ISOs are starting to run. You know, the Cardanos, the Stellars, and of course, XRP. Now, obviously, when the entire market runs, meme coins start to run with it. And usually they outpace the rest of the market, but it looks like some of the alts are actually running harder than some meme coins. But Dogecoin up 20%, Shiba Inu 17%, Pepe 25%, Bonk 14%. You have Trump, Pudgy Penguins up a whopping 86% on the week. SPX up 25%. Fart coin. Sometimes I don't know how people take us seriously in the meme coin space, but they're a part of crypto, so we're gonna run it. Dog with hat, Floki, and really meme coins are just absolutely sending. So I hope you bought the dip, but if you didn't, you could always sell some organs to buy the next dip. And shout out to our boy Da Vinci. Of course, this is not a real video or post. It's a meme. And if you know who Da Vinci is, he actually told us to buy Bitcoin when it was around $1 or so, like 10, 12 years ago now. But this is why it's important to buy the dip and dollar cost average when you can. It's not about aping everything all in at once, because we will have a pullback. It's okay to slowly buy crypto over time. And eventually when we do have a pullback, it'll create an opportunity of a lifetime for you to buy the next dip. All right, so bears are absolutely getting wrecked. We have had $205 million worth of Bitcoin shorts liquidated in the past 60 minutes. Now this was posted yesterday, and a lot of people were betting on the market to dip again, but it looks like the market's not dipping, obviously. So obviously James Nguyen, if you know him on X, he's popular for, you know, getting wrecked for longing or shorting the market. Now he famously made a tweet that says, "I'm going short." This is on the 13th of July. And since then, he's deleted his account. It wasn't suspended or, you know, taken off by X. He deleted his account, which sucks because he's actually pretty funny on X, but looks like he got absolutely wrecked again. That's why you got to be careful with leverage. They say the 3 downfalls of men start with 3 L's: ladies, liquor, and of course, leverage. So recently, XRP shattered $175 billion in market cap size, the highest it's been since February. Now, since then, XRP has surpassed $3, which brings it around $178 or so billion in market cap size. Now, not much has happened when it comes to XRP news, but we are starting to see the ISOs starting to run all together, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. The Stellars, the Cardanos, the HBAR, so on and so forth. They're doing very, very well, and they all seem to run together. And it all starts with XRP. Now, obviously, XRP's grand vision is to pretty much change how we deal with money transmitters. Now, people say it's supposed to replace SWIFT. I'm not sure if that's ever gonna happen, but who knows? The crypto space is crazy, and what I do know is that now, more than ever, crypto is becoming more and more mainstream. So who knows? Maybe we'll actually find a real-world use case for some of these cryptos, because really, it's still a place where people speculate. It's all about price go up for now, and institutions really betting on Bitcoin as a store of value. But what if Bitcoin's use case, which is to be a currency, actually comes to be? Check out this clip where Joe Rogan says, "Imagine if Bitcoin becomes the only money worth anything."
Imagine if Bitcoin becomes the only money worth anything. And then everybody's like, "Well, I don't have any of it." Well, your money's not worth shit. You got to get new money. You got to get money in Bitcoin.
That's what's going to happen.
And then there's only a certain amount of Bitcoin, right? Like the Bitcoin number is finite, right? So like maybe there's no Bitcoin for you,
right?
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's
like,
what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen.
You just predicted the future, Joe.
So maybe it's time to buy some Bitcoin before everyone else buys it up. Remember, Bitcoin is finite. There's only going to be 21 million ever made. The last one's going to be mined in 2140. And us in the crypto space believe that eventually it's going to be the solution to all the downfalls of traditional currency. Remember, even with healthy inflation, the dollar is worth 2% less every year. Keep that in mind. Now watch this reporter ask Michael Saylor if he would ever sell any of his Bitcoin and take profits, because this is interesting.
Like to see that sort of return. At any point, would you sell? When would it make sense to take profits there?
Well, I've famously said I'm going to be buying the top forever. Bitcoin is the exit strategy.
Obviously, we love Michael Saylor in the space, and he has shown the best way to succeed succeed in this space is to buy as much as you can and hold Bitcoin over time. DCA all day. And like I mentioned before, a lot of people are getting wrecked on leverage. And Michael Saylor said, hey, short Bitcoin if you hate money. Now, obviously, if you're a good trader, and there's not a lot of good traders in the space, do what you want with your own money. But if you're trying to time the market, you better be good at trading, because a lot of people are getting absolutely wrecked. Now, something that brings me joy is kind of roasting Peter Schiff, because obviously Peter Schiff is a known Bitcoin hater. And check out this tweet from 2019. He told us to keep dreaming. Bitcoin is never going to hit $100,000. Now, I bet that boy is punching air right now because we're smashing through all-time highs, and it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon. Now, a lot of people are asking why the market is pumping, and I think I know why. Really, who knows, but I think I know why. And that's because Jerome Powell may actually leave, and we might actually start to see interest rates being lowered. There's a lot of pressure from Donald Trump and the Trump administration in general for him to cut interest rates, but he's shown that he won't. And really, Jerome Powell has done a really good job at getting a hold of inflation. But Donald Trump wants to be known for having the greatest stock market and economy. We know Donald Trump, he just wants to flex on everybody. And he knows by lowering interest rates, it's going to send the markets to higher highs. Now, recently we hit an all-time high in the stock market, and we're hitting all-time highs in the crypto market. But Donald Trump wants more. And Donald Trump says that Jerome Powell has been very bad for the country, and we should have the lowest interest rates on earth. Now, check out this clip from Donald Trump being asked about Jerome Powell.
No inflation, our country is strong, our interest rate should be 3 points lower. If our interest rate was 3 points lower, that's almost $1 trillion in cost. And it's done just by the signing of a pen, but we have a moron at the head of the Fed. He's a moron.
Speaking of Powell, do you have a top choice?
I do. I have 2 or 3 top choices, actually. No. You almost got me there. No.
So that's what Trump thinks of Jerome Powell. All right, so Donald Trump is back at it with the whole tariff situation. And he announced some new tariffs this week. We have the full list right here. European Union at 30%, South Africa 30%, South Korea 25%, Bangladesh 35%, so on and so forth. Now, a lot of people thought that tariffs weren't going to work. It's kind of like old tech, but it seems that it's actually working. I mean, it seems the proof is in the pudding with, the stock market situation, and it looks like our economy is in good shape. Not a lot of people are happy about these tariffs, but if you look at the situation as a whole, it does seem that other countries have been taking advantage of the United States for years, and we're trying to get some of that back. Now, obviously, a lot of other foreign leaders aren't happy about these tariffs. Trump has been beefing with Canada for a while. A lot of the bigger nations are hitting us with reciprocal tariffs. We heard the statement from Melanie Joy. She says, while the US is becoming weaker, we will become stronger and we will diversify and turn ourselves towards Europe. So obviously, Canadians not happy, but I like to see a lot of the other countries becoming more self-reliant. What I think a lot of other countries should do is get behind Bitcoin. Now, one of the first countries that actually pioneered the whole strategic Bitcoin reserve was El Salvador. And President Bukele has over $740 million in Bitcoin. Even when people were roasting him, he still continued to buy, and that is paying off like crazy. Now, a strategic Bitcoin reserve is something we actually want to do in the United States. I hope we actually get it done. Obviously, the last administration didn't really care about crypto that much, but it seems like it's different with this administration. And some Haley Welsh meme coin news. You remember when the Tuah token launched by the Tuah chick? Well, obviously it was a big rug pull. She ended up leaving the space for a long time. And since then, she has sold her account. So Tuah, aka Haley Welsh, sold her X account, which is funny. So Only Up Memes asked her if she would sell it for $325,000. That's what we think. And it looks like that's done. So good riddance to Haley Welsh. She got the bag and got out. So if you guys didn't know, Pump.Fun is launching their own token. Everyone knows Pump.Fun as a place where you can create your own meme coin and really just rug pull people. That's what it's known for. I think as one final scam, allegedly, I don't know, is it illegal to say that? They're launching a token, which no one needs a token, but it's super popular because the pre-sale of their token raised $500 million in 12 minutes. A lot of degens out there want to get in on this token. Now, I think it's going to absolutely dump like crazy. And really, it's a bad look for Solana, but we'll see what comes of it. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if I missed anything, also let me know in the comments down below. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.